What is going on, fam? I just got to the gym. It is Monday, so I am doing my first leg day of the week. And this day is really very quad and hamstring oriented. Still obviously gonna hit glutes while you do those things, but I'm not doing so much direct glute work in this workout. I do it more on my second leg day, which is the video I just uploaded, which you can watch here. And I also hit it a little bit when I do full body day, which is my fifth workout of the week. And then I also have 2 upper body days. So anyways, we're gonna get this workout started, slamming those quads, slamming those hamstrings. I'm gonna walk you through everything and hope that you give this workout a go and get some great results from it. So let's get into it. All right, Fit Fam, we are getting this workout started off with a little bit of glute activation to warm up. So I know in my last video I said that I wasn't sure about continuing to do glute activation, but I decided that, you know what, I actually do just enjoy the way it feels. I like just doing this really quick, basic warm up to get the muscle fibers engaged, to feel the blood pumping and just kind of wake up my muscles. But the most important thing that you can do for your warm up is to actually do 1 or 2 warm up sets of the exercise that you're first going to be doing. So I kind of just do the banded glute activation as a basic level warm up, but then you want to make sure that you're actually putting your body through the range of motion and getting used to the actual compound exercise that you're going to do. So you're going to see me doing that next. So for the glute activation, I'm just doing some banded squats, banded lateral steps, just walking side to side, doing about 15 reps of each one, 15 reps per leg for the banded lateral steps. And now let's get into these warm-up sets of the first exercise, which is hack squats. So these days I'm always doing 2 warm-up sets of the first exercise that I'm going to be doing that day. And the first exercise obviously is always the most compound move. Compound meaning it is using multiple muscle groups at the same time, and for that reason it requires a lot of strength from your body. So obviously any kind of squat is a very, very intense compound movement because it's working your legs, of course, which are the biggest muscles in your entire body, but it's also working your glutes, it's also working your core, back, shoulders, and arms. So you really are using your full body strength, and that is why you want to get the muscles warmed up and used to that range of motion using a weight that's maybe about half the amount of weight that you are going to use for your actual working sets, and maybe slightly fewer reps because you don't want to burn yourself out in your warm-up sets. You just want to get your body warmed up, obviously. So now that I've done these 2 warm-up sets, let's get into our 3 working sets. All right, so just slapping on that heavier weight, and I'm going to be going for 8 reps for 3 sets of hack squats. So really important with this exercise, you really, really, really want to go all the way down. So if you are not fully bringing your body to the bottom of the range of motion, the absolute lowest that the machine will let you go, then you are definitely missing out on some gains and missing out on some quad activation, because this exercise is so amazing at absolutely annihilating your quads. So yes, with your hack squat, place your feet a good bit in front of you on the platform, and then bring yourself down all the way down as low as you possibly can, and then push up off those heels to lift yourself back up. And this is definitely a very challenging exercise. You will see for yourself. Your quads should be screaming by the end, but it's going to feel very, very good. All right, moving on to our second exercise. This is a squat machine, but I'm not going to be doing squats on it. I'm going to be doing good morning. So good morning is a hip hinge exercise, kind of like a RDL or some kind of deadlift, but instead we have the weight on our back instead of holding it with our hands. So it's the same range of motion where you are hinging your hips back towards the wall. So not every gym is going to have this squat machine, and I'm going to show you that you can still do good mornings with a barbell if your gym doesn't have this machine. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't really enjoy good mornings on the barbell. I just don't really feel them that well in my hamstrings. So it's up to you to experiment and to see what works best with your body, because everybody is going to have a different reaction to every exercise. You know, an exercise that I love and really, really feel in a certain body part, you might not as much, and then vice versa. But if your gym does have the squat machine, I strongly recommend giving these good mornings a try, because doing it on this machine, I feel it like crazy in my hamstrings. Like I really can isolate them so freaking well. So I'm putting the pads on my shoulders, and then just like an RDL or any kind of deadlift like that, you're going to be pushing your butt, pushing your hips back towards the wall, imagining there's a rope around your hips and somebody's pulling you back towards the wall, keeping that back flat, and just a little bit of a bend in your knees. And I'm going for 12 reps here, and I'm telling you, by the time I was done 12 reps of 3 sets, my hamstrings were absolutely on fire. It felt so freaking good. So definitely give this one a go if your gym has the machine, and if not, you can try it with the barbell. Maybe you'll have more luck than I do using the barbell for good mornings. All right, moving on to our next exercise, we are going to be doing some classic dumbbell reverse lunges, getting nice and low, taking a big wide step back so that we can really hit those glutes. So of course I am putting on my Versa grips, which I keep talking about. Absolute game changer to my training routine. I strongly recommend getting a pair because it just makes it more comfortable for you to be able to hold heavy dumbbells or a heavy barbell, because if you weren't using straps like this, what would happen is your wrists would get overloaded with weight way before your legs and glutes would, because obviously your wrists are much smaller than your legs and glutes. So this is a way where you can hold a lot more weight without having that discomfort in your wrists and then really be able to overload your legs and glutes. So like I said, I'm taking a nice wide step here, really stepping back nice and far, and then bringing that back knee all the way to the ground, literally touching the ground with my knee and then pushing back up into a standing position. And it doesn't really maybe look like it's that challenging, but when you use a solid amount of weight, it really makes a difference. So I'm doing 8 reps for 3 sets on each leg with this one. All right, moving on to our next exercise, I'm going to be doing some leg extensions to annihilate these quads once again. I don't think any quad workout is complete without doing some leg extensions, because it's really one of the best ways that you can very much isolate your quads and just really overload them with some good resistance. And it's not necessarily a very difficult exercise since it is isolating a muscle group. So it's not a compound movement, it's an isolation movement, but it does feel really good on those quads. So I'm doing 3 sets and I am increasing the weight every single set. So for my first set, I did 10 reps, then I did 8, and then I did 6. So by the time I'm getting to the last set, I'm really pushing the weight. And it's really important with this one, if you are using a bit heavier weight, you want to make sure you can still get a full range of motion, that you can bring that leg pad up all the way. And at the top, I recommend try to squeeze and contract your muscles just for like 1 second or even half a second, just so you can isolate and overload those quads even more. All right, on to our last exercise here now. We are doing some lying hamstring curls. So this has been a very quad and hamstring focused workout. Like I said, it's really a leg workout. Obviously, you are still getting some glute action, especially for things like the hack squat, good morning, and lunges, but not so much direct glute work like I would normally do when I'm doing a bunch of hip thrusts. So now we are just finishing off with annihilating our hamstrings. So with this exercise, it makes all the difference to really do muscle mind connection and just focus on a clean range of motion. So you don't actually have to use that much weight. I think I'm only using about 40 pounds, but I find that my hamstrings are still absolutely on fire because I like to go nice and slow through the range of motion, especially the lowering portion of the exercise. So when I'm bringing my legs down, I was really trying to go slow and controlled and really do muscle mind connection, really think about my hamstrings, and I'm telling you, they were on fire in the best way. It felt so good. And then I'm doing 3 sets of 8 reps for this exercise, and on my very last set, I'm going to do a drop set to failure. So meaning I'm doing 3 regular working sets, and then for that 3rd set, I'm going to immediately drop the weight to the next lowest weight with no rest in between, and then go for as many reps as I can till failure. So it actually ends up being 4 sets, but the 3rd set is the drop set to failure like that. All right, fam, that is the end of the session. My legs feel good. So I hope you give these exercises a go. Leave a message down in the comments if there's anything else you want to see from me or any questions you have. Thanks so much for checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one.